Hi everybody. In my last video I showed some new items I had received and showed the progress I had made to that point in cleaning and reconditioning some of them. Here are some pictures of what two of those cars looked like when I got them. After I posted that video, I got some questions about what I did to recondition those items, so I thought I'd make a short video about that. First of all, let me say that what I did is nothing new. I've seen these processes used in other videos or heard about them from other hobbyists. My first step was to separate the cars from the frames. The pins can sometimes be difficult to get out, so when that happens, I take a soldering iron and hold it on the head of the pin for about 30 seconds. I then take an X-Acto knife and carefully try to slide it under the pin head to pry it up. If it moves, then I can usually get it out with the needle nose pliers. If not, then I heat it some more. I repeat that process until the pin comes out. Sometimes it comes out quickly, and other times it takes patience, but either way, it will eventually come out. I also take off the wheels and journals. I soak the car bodies and wheels in water with dish soap overnight to loosen up the grime. After soaking, I use a soft rag to wipe those pieces off. Then I clean them again using a cleaner such as this Pledge cleaner. I use a soft rag and different types of Q-tips and brushes for the cleaning. I found that it often works best to spray the cleaner on the brush first instead of directly on the car. My final step is to spray everything with WD-40. I once had an antique dealer tell me that WD-40 is the duct tape of the antique world. It's amazing how it can help plastics and metals come back to life. I've also used it on these old cast iron toys that I got from my dad. I was cautious with it the first time I used it with my trains because I wasn't sure how it would impact decals and stamped lettering. But I've seen absolutely no problems with this, and the WD-40 definitely made a difference on these two cars, as you will see in a minute. After soaking, I clean the wheels in the same manner as I discussed in one of my earlier videos. These wheels probably had at least 50 or 60 years worth of gunk on them, so it required more effort than the wheels on my existing rolling stock. I also sprayed them with WD-40. To clean the axles, I used these sanding sticks which I found at Hobby Lobby. In this video, you can see how I cleaned this axle. The other axles were much worse than this one, but from this short example, you can see how grime was taken off from this axle. It still needs a bit of work, but you get the idea. This is how some of the axles were when I started, and you can see here how well they came out after that sanding, cleaning, and a shot of WD-40. Overall, I'm very pleased with how the wheels and axles came out. As to the trucks and journals, I soaked the frames and journals in distilled vinegar overnight because of the excessive rust on them. This took off most of the rust, but unfortunately, it also took off the paint. After soaking, I removed the remaining rust with small wire brushes like this. I didn't worry too much about losing the paint from the frame since you don't see that much, but I did want to repaint the sides of the trucks. I used normal Testors model paint for that. Because of pitting from the rust, some of the trucks look a bit rough if you look closely, but they all look good from a few feet away. After soaking the journals with the frames, I used a Dremel to clean them. I could have used a Dremel for other reconditioning jobs, but I don't always feel comfortable with it, so I prefer to do some things by hand. Here are some before and after pictures of these cars. I used the same process on the shell of the 307 that was in that box with the other rolling stock. Here you can compare the results with the 302 that I haven't started to work on yet. They weren't really bad to start with, but I definitely like how the 307 came out, and will do the same with the 302. My next project will be these 3 passenger cars that actually go with the Santa Fe set. Somebody custom painted the stripes on them to almost match the Silver Flash diesel engine that was also in that box. The custom paint job isn't perfect, but it's done well enough that I plan to leave them this way, but I want to shine them up to look at least as good as these Santa Fe cars that I already have. To the left are the cars that I just got, and to the right are the cars that I already have. You can see that the cars to the right have a better shine to them. I used Blue Magic car polish on these cars, but any good car polish will work. The cars to the left are already in better shape than those other cars were when I got them, so I'm confident that I can get all of the cars looking really nice. So here's the 307 and the other rolling stock that came in that box. This much is now cleaned up. This engine wouldn't budge at all when I first tested it, but after a good overall cleaning and lubricating, you can see how beautifully it now runs. If any of you have other suggestions for cleaning up trains and accessories, please put that in the comments so we can all benefit from them. I hope you got at least one good idea from this video, and as always, thanks for watching.